So I think it's time to address reparations. A lot of people seem like they don't understand that the root word for reparation is repair. And reparation doesn't mean a cash in hand payment. It means policies, strategies, actions that will go towards repairing the damage that was done. This is part of the problem with people who don't really understand the history of any particular people. It doesn't necessarily have to be Black Americans. It could be actually histories of people in other countries, Africa, Asia, India. So when reparations is brought up, it's not necessarily, rather it should not be thought of as this idea of a cash in hand payment. It should be tangibles included in the reparation. But typically it's some sort of social program, assistance, vouchers, freedom to self-regulate, things of that nature. That's how reparations should be looked at. Not, I don't need reparations. I don't need money in hand. That's not really what reparation is about. That's not what reparations is about. And if we talk about reparations in America for Black Americans, in my opinion, and I know this might be controversial, I feel like, and I've been saying this for a while, I feel like there was more damage done to the Black community from 1865 to now than it was done from the slavery, right? And I know that's controversial. You can put your comments in if you want to. Of course, there are testaments as far as what happened during slavery. But for the most part, when we exited the plantation, we know, if you know your history, when Black people exited slavery, exited the plantation, immediately afterwards, Black towns were popping up. Whole microeconomies were popping up. So we weren't these destitute creatures crawling out of these parasitic relationships. Let me calm down. I think that's enough. So again, reparations should not always be thought of as a cash in hand payment. Tangibles should be discussed, but it's more or less about the actions, strategies, policies, and laws that are put into place to repair the damage that was done to a particular people. Please stop thinking about reparations as only a cash in hand payment, because that's not really what it's about. In fact, I'll go on further to say that when certain people, certain people, I'm not gonna say their name, but certain people that I actually like and listen to some of their stuff harp on the cash in hand payment, that does kind of make me look at them through a side eye, because it's just like, how would a cash in hand payment work at this point? For some people who don't know, when slavery ended, there was supposed to be a system to give the slaves who were left something for working, right? The 40 acres and a mule, that was actually a thing. On my mother's side, my great-great-grandfather, he actually received that. I talked to someone on Twitter about what happened, and again, if you want to know, I'll do maybe a part 2 or something to this, but many people didn't hold on to that land because they didn't look at it as a tool for generational wealth, as opposed to how we look at things now. So that's most likely what happened to many people whose forefathers and foremothers did receive literal severance packages, I guess, for leaving the plantation. They don't have it. A lot of them don't have it now because their children and grandchildren sold it off for different reasons. It could have been for selfish reasons. It could have been just for the fact that they didn't see it as a tool of generational wealth. Some of them sold it and it made a better situation. A lot of times that happened. And of course, the sad reality is that not all ex-slaves received that 40 acres and a mule. In some cases, the former owners or handlers, former owners and handlers actually gave them something to,
in 3/4 of a mile.
Let me wrap this up because I gotta take care of something. They gave them something in order to leave, right? In order to be left whole after the situation was over. All right, I think that's pretty much it right now.